What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we're going to be going over the charts as usual. Definitely make sure you scroll down, smash that thumbs up before we begin. That's all I ask of you. It takes you 2 seconds of your time. It's the least you could do. Definitely do that. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want daily updates on what's going on in the markets, including Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at some older charts real quick. If we have this roadmap right, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Now, I know everybody thinks that we're going to go to new all-time highs in 2025. I don't think so. I'll show you why at the end of the video. But we're going to go over some stuff I talked about yesterday. Everybody was all talking about the Fed and the rate hike and whatnot. And I believe it's all burnt into the charts. And no matter what they say, I think they have a master plan. And the master plan is to crush the markets, because they are getting into the dollar, and once that dollar is valued so high and the markets are bottom, they can get back in the markets and ride those up for the next 20, 30 years or whatever, and just continue to make profits while not making new all-time highs in the markets. All them people waiting up top with their 401ks or whatever may not see them return in their lifetime, as I'll show you why. But anyways, let's get into it. No matter what, guys, even when things look terrible, the opportunities can be absolutely life-changing and amazing. So let's take a look at the pre-markets. 182, the Dow is down 182, S&P's down 28, NASDAQ down 108 as of making this video. That doesn't mean we can't have little spikes here and there. So let's take a look at what's going on. So this is the chart we've been watching, this falling channel, right? We talked about this yesterday. Obviously, this is when Powell spoke. It dumped down. He was talking hawkish. We expected that. Now let's take a look at what's going on here. If we do get another pump, I don't see us going past this 33.3. If it does, we've been talking about this area for weeks. If it does get above this and start opening, closing dailies above that, then we'll have to start looking for alternate moves, maybe the bottom's in. Although, as you guys know, I don't think so. Ever since December 2nd, when we started talking about the Amazon chart, that has been playing out beautifully. We'll also take a look at that at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for that. But let's see what happened here. As you guys can see, we have the fibs on here from this top to this bottom, and we got rejected perfectly at the 7.786, also topped out here. But again, we could get one more rally, could get up to this range, make a new higher high in the RSI, and still be a lower high in the price action, which is hidden bearish divergence. We talk about it all the time on this channel. Hidden divergence is a continuation of the trend. The trend is down. This is on the 4-hour. We can look at it on the daily. So if we look at this as an Elliott wave structure, right, this being a wave 1, this being wave 2, and this being wave 3, it could get really, really ugly for the Dow, guys. I know a lot of people think that we're going to continue up. I do not believe so. So if we looked at this as a third wave starting right here, third wave down, this being wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 would get us all the way down to, I'll show you what that would look like. Right, and this would just be wave 3 if this is correct. I showed you guys yesterday in yesterday's video my 5-wave count in the macro for Bitcoin, saying that the bull market is over for quite some time. We'll see what happens, but so far that seems to be playing out beautifully. I've been talking about it for a while. I also have another chart I want to show you guys on there. But let's see. Let's look at this as a wave 1, wave 2. Wave 3 would get us down to the 1.618, and then we would probably come retest this bottom of this channel before coming down to our measured move target. And this is just a measured move of this channel down in this range around 22.3. Now, best case scenario, that would be the bottom, and then we continue up from there, but we still have lower trend lines here. And if things get really bad, guys, we have really, really bad targets down here. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't have to happen, but so far everything is looking pretty bad for that. So let's take a look at the DXY. You guys know I put the fibs on here from the top. This is a Fibonacci extension, right? We went from the top this high to this low to this high, looking at this as a possible ABC correction. If it does come down, I do believe 109 would be the furthest it would go, and then another continuation to the upside. But if you look at where we're at here on this, we talked about this yesterday. Well, a couple days ago, getting past the 111 at the 0.5 fib, our next stop would be the 382 fib, which is 112. Look at that. We broke above it, and now we've broken above the 0.236. Also, if this holds as support, this 112.80, that holds as support, we're coming to test these highs again. And if that breaks, what most likely is going to happen here if we do test these highs is we'll come down, we'll bounce around this area for a few weeks, whatever, come back up, retest, break. Once we break this high, guys, you know my major target levels. If we go into the daily, show you real quick, our next level for the daily time frame is around this 122. I believe once we get here, I expect a rejection, possibly a pullback, maybe another fake rally, maybe in January, February, March area. As you guys know, I think we'll have a false bottom in February or March for Bitcoin. We'll talk about that too at the end if you haven't heard about it. But once we break this 122 and we look at the big picture, guys, I've been talking about this for a very long time. Now, if we look at the big picture, we take the measured move from the widest point of this wedge to where we broke out here, gets us up to about 178 to 180 range. I know a lot of people think that is impossible, but look back here in the 80s, guys, and it's not going to go straight up in one candle, just like you see here. This took from bottom to top 1979 to 1985, so 6 years. Could we see something like that again? It's definitely possible. Like I said, I think we could be in a longer bear market than people think. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't still go up a little bit. As you guys know, I don't really believe in the 4-year halving cycle. I believe in the 4-year election cycle. So I do believe in, we may still have tops and bottoms on a 4-year cycle, but it doesn't have to make new all-time highs every time. And I'll show you why here in a minute. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT, by far my favorite crypto exchange. There's been some shady stuff going on with crypto exchanges, guys. I'll probably be going over it. I got to wait for these guys to see if it gets worked out. But there's 2 crypto exchanges that done some very shady thing. And one is huge. It will surprise you guys who it is. They're doing some really crazy stuff where it shows to me, if this stuff doesn't get worked out, that Bitcoin and cryptos are not ready to be massively adopted, because it's taking a lot longer for bigger sums with these exchanges and stuff acting just like banks. So be careful. Anyways, if you are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT. They are an A-book exchange. Guys, stay away from the B-book exchanges. They are trading against you. They use their own funds, so they want to win, and that's why you see everybody shilling them, because they have to keep people coming in because they're liquidating everybody taking their money, right? So Prime XBT is an A-book exchange. A-book exchanges are just brokers. They don't have their own trading desks. They just put through orders. So they would rather you continue to win, because then you stick around, they can keep making commission off of your trades, right? So they're not out to take your money. Just something you need to think about. And if you do use my link down below, my promo code SAVVY50, that'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus to use towards your margins. SAVVY25 will get you 25% off your fees. Check them out if you haven't already. They do help support the channel, and they do sponsor my videos. So anyways, let's take a look at the monthly. So the monthly, we've talked about this trend line a while back. Anything below here, I know everybody likes to look at the weekly and talk about it's bottomed and it's oversold, but guys, Bitcoin's a lot older now. Look at the monthly RSI. As long as we're below this, I tweeted that out yesterday. If you don't follow me on Twitter, make sure you give me a follow. It's at CryptoSavvy1. Use the links below in the pinned comment or in the description of the video to get my Twitter account, because there are so many scammers out there, guys. Be careful, be cautious. Maybe with the new owner of Twitter that'll get fixed, but until then, definitely use my link down below. So anyways, as of right now, we're still below the monthly trend line. Bearish, guys, in the macro. Bearish, bearish, bearish. let's take a look at the daily. So if we take a look at the daily here, I showed you guys this yesterday, the hidden bearish divergence, lower highs in the price action, higher highs in the RSI, hidden bearish divergence. We have turned around now. Now let's take a look at the fibs on this daily real quick. From this high to this low, right? We got rejected at the 0.618. We talked about this 20,460. If that wasn't able to hold, our next stop is going to be the 0.382, which is 19.9. Maybe we bounce around in here for a little while, but once this 19.9's broke, 19.2 is going to be the major area to watch. And then, of course, 18.2 after that. We'll talk. But once this breaks, this 19.2, probably be pretty quick to 18.2, maybe bounce around in here for a while, testing this bottom trend line. But once that 18.2 area breaks, guys, I think it'll be swift. Just like up here, you can see once it broke its low, it really broke its low. So be careful. Same thing here. Once we broke that low, we never came back and tested it. Same thing here. So what invalidates this would have to break 25,350. If we break 25,350, then maybe this has bottomed and we go up from there. But until then, macro's still showing bearish. Now looking at the daily here, as you can see, I moved this trend line here. And if we take a measured move of the breakdown from here, it gets us down to about that 75, 71 area. But as you guys know, we'll take a look at it in the weekly, but 14.5 is my weekly target. Once this 18.2 breaks, I do expect us to get to that 14.5. As long as that 14.5 holds, we may come back up and retest this 18.2 area. Remember, my false bottom theory isn't until February or March of next year. And then I expect a rally going into, April or June, and then a continuation to make lower lows, the absolute bottom in middle or end of next year. And we'll take a look at that in the charts and why I think that. All this is backed up by data, guys. I'm not just throwing crazy stuff out there. And I don't like to give people a bunch of hopium because a lot of people just don't get how markets work. This is all a game. Markets are a game. Were they a long time ago? Maybe not, but they are now. Like if you look at CEOs of companies and stuff, it isn't about the product anymore. It isn't about anything. The only thing it's about is pumping the price. These people running the show are getting rich, guys. And it's the markets are just a game now. That's how I look at it. And everybody says, well, the news events make to this and happen. But in all reality, guys, the same people controlling everything are controlling the news. So they can make a move in the market and then they can make an excuse of why it happened. So be careful. So anyways, looking at this on the daily, if we were to come up to test this falling channel top here, be around 24.5 range. Highest I see it going if we were to get some crazy rally out of nowhere. But as you guys know, we broke out of this triangle here, came up. We actually broke our long-term trend line, but came right down in it. What's that? I consider that a bull trap right there. Trapped everybody up here and most likely going to continue to the downside. But remember, 18.2 is the major area to watch for a major short. If that breaks, guys, I'm looking for 14.5. If that breaks, 7,500. But I think it's most likely if we see that 75 to 8,500, that's going to be sometime in February or March. I know that goes against your end of the year bottom 4-year cycle stuff, but that's how I'm looking at it. Let's look at this in the 4 hour, zoom in a little bit. Let me get that off there now. And we talked about this being the measured move, 21.5. But right now, as you guys can see, we are testing this trend line again. We got rejected. If we do get above this, again, I'm still looking at if we get up this high, 21.5, to be a major area of rejection, right? So let's put this down here too. Just, whoops, not that one. Let's put this trend line over and take a look at where this trend line lines up and the area to watch here. Oh, one more thing. Let's look at the daily real quick. So the daily has plenty of room for downside, guys. Just be careful there. And also we have, even in the daily, we had hidden bearish divergence here. So another thing to be careful about. Back into the 4 hour. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm watching, guys. For us to get that 21.5 area, we're going to have to break above here, which is 21.8. If we can break the 21.8, then I look for a 21.5. But otherwise, I'm looking for this 19.2 to 19.3 range, possibly get another little dead cat bounce before continuing down. But remember, at any time, if we break this 18.2, 18.3 range, it's going to probably be quick and harsh. All right, let's take a look at the weekly. This is how I get the 14.5 range, right? As you guys know, this weekly trend line, if we break above this on the weekly and hold, then I would become, start to look at the Amazon chart getting invalidated. But as of right now, there's no reason for me to be thinking that. As you guys know, right here, we had our measured move that we nailed right here at the 25.5 range. And then we made this became another bear flag, with this being the flag pull, brought it down. I told you guys around 17.6 and boom, nailed it. Now this target brought down here, looking at this as another bear flag, gets us down to about 8,500. But looking at this as a rising broadening wedge, this is where I get that 14.5 from the break right here. That's why I do believe we're definitely going to see that 14.5 in my opinion. Sorry, I said definitely. You can't really say that in any market because nothing is a certainty in markets, but this seems to be playing out absolutely perfectly, guys. And I'll show you why in the next charts too, and I'll show you how big of a deal this RSI is. But as of right now, we are getting squeezed in between the 8 EMA, which is 20,070, and the 13 EMA, which is 20,800. If we break this 20,070 and that becomes resistance, our next stop is going to be that 19.2, 19.3 area, which is also a high volume node on the VPVR. So, all right, this is the .com scam washout, the .com bubble. This is Amazon. All the crap had to get washed out. And I think that's what's happening here. And I think it'll continue to happen. There's a lot of scams that need to get washed out of crypto, guys. And this will help do it. And it's going to be a slow, long rise back up. And I'll show you that in the next chart. But as you can see here, it's playing out just like we expected, right? I told you guys every time we get a bounce, we get a lower low, everybody gets super bearish, and then it bounces back up, and they still don't sell. Boom, 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 all the way down. And then we have our false bottom right here. Right here. Let's move this over so you can see it. This is where we're at right now. Right here. So if this comes back down, we get our next low sometime in February or March. If this time frame plays out, which it has been beautifully, our next low is going to be in sometime in February or March. Then we're going to get a big rally. This was like 100% rally here or something close to that. Let me see. That was a, whoops, that's not what I wanted to put on there. Let's put our, let's measure that. So yeah, it's about 130% rally, which seems huge, right? But when you look at it in the bigger time frame, which is what you guys should be watching if you're looking at long term. Let's say it gets down to let's say it goes to 65. Even if it gets as low as 65, 130% rally would be right back to that 14, right? Great place to put in some longs. Like I said, sometime in February or March, ride that up, long it, or just buy some, and then sell on the way up. If you want to continue to hold, just put your stops just above, keep you in profit. But you may have a great opportunity for one more huge short going into the end of next year. Once this trend line breaks, that's what'll let us know. And then what we should do is come back down for a retest, just like we did here. Now, this doesn't have to happen. Nothing's a guarantee, right? This is not financial advice. This is just showing you real data on the chart. Everyone is always saying is their Bitcoin charts are according to data. Well, Bitcoin is young, right? It's super young. It's got a lot of stuff to go through. I think it's going to take a lot of time, and I'll show you in the next two charts, or the next chart. But if this does happen, this will be a great opportunity for some longs and then another short. But let's take a look at something else real quick. This is how it could play out, guys. This is over 10 years before breaking a new all-time high. That doesn't mean it goes down for 10 years. See, people think of a bear market is, when I say it's not going to break new all-time highs for 10 years, that it's in a bear market for 10 years. That's not at all what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this. If this does play out like this, as you can see, that would get us into you know, February, March, or I'm sorry, this would get us into the middle or end of next year. Can you see how the weekly candles play out, guys? You're not going to get a huge weekly candle going up to new all-time highs in a day. Now, like I said, I don't believe in the 4-year halving cycle. I believe in the election cycle. That would get us a rally up until middle of 2025, somewhere in that area. Just like this was right here, right? So everybody's going to get bullish. I'm sure people will be calling for $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 Bitcoin, because this will probably be a pretty quick rally, you know, from the middle or end of 2023 all the way for a whole year rally. You can see what happened here. Get everyone super bullish only to come back down. But there is tons of money to be made here, right? Take profits all the way up, guys, like you probably should have been doing here. Right, but nobody expected this except me. I don't mean, I'm sure other people were expecting it, but I mean, you can't deny. If you check out my video, I'll leave it up top at the end of the video from December 2nd. That it was, you know, I tried to warn people that it was looking a whole lot like this chart, and so far it's still playing out almost perfectly, guys. But this would get us to about, you know, 38, maybe even 4,500, somewhere in that range. But guys, if this does happen and you get to buy in here, sell, take profits all the way up here. I do believe there will be another fall right here that will last. This one was from October 03 to July 06. So if this went to October in 25, it would be about 3 years. So maybe 27 or 28. Start, you know, buying back in somewhere in this range and do it all over again. But again, this took 10 years. I show other bubble pop patterns, guys, that have done this. You can check Sony, and guys, you got to put in your own work for a lot of this stuff. You expect everybody to show you everything. You're not going to learn it that way. Dig in, find your own stuff. Get yourself a TradingView account. I have a link down below. Use that. It gets you a free account. And then once you if you actually start trading and getting into it, maybe you'll want to buy the premium accounts, but you can do a lot with the free account. Practice with this stuff. Check out Sony and Nintendo, other bubble pops that still, it's been over 15 years and they still haven't reached their all-time high. Just saying, guys, it doesn't have to happen. Bitcoin's got a long ways to go. And if it was so great and the institutions knew it was going to be, they would just be buying right now and pushing this thing up, right? It's not a safe haven right now, guys. It is just another risky, speculative asset. Now let's take a look at this. This blue line is the Amazon weekly chart. This is the Bitcoin weekly chart. And you cannot deny that this thing is playing out to the T, guys. I mean, it is, obviously, it's not going to be candle for candle. It's about structure. And this structure is playing out absolutely beautiful, guys. This could be the roadmap to absolute financial freedom if it plays out. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, smash that thumbs up, leave your comments down below, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.